Hello fellow 3D enthusiast, my name is Ian, and today I wanted to share with you how we can take this shot where this guy has no arm and take this robot arm that we did some motion capture on last week and merge them together with some compositing and make it look like this. Alright, so here you can see we've got the motion tracked arm from last week and we want to integrate it into our footage. If we hit F12 at the moment, you can see there's just no arm there. So it is time to actually work on putting this in. I'm going to start by kind of adjusting the environment a little bit because if we render it out, it's really dark. And so if we go into the world settings here and just turn the brightness up, that'll help quite a bit. And let's also add in some directional lighting, not just lighting coming from all sides. I'm going to go Shift A and add in a light area and grab that and move it up on the Z axis. You can see with this guy, it's shining down on our arm. And the idea here is we kind of want to mimic the sky. So I'm going to scale it up really big. You can see from the footage, it's a bit of an overcast day. There's no really strong directional lighting. If we just render this, you can see it's a little bit dark at the moment. I'm going to turn the power of the light up. Let's set that to something like 200. And now, if we were going to try and render this and composite it into our node tree, this is what we'll get. It'll just be this arm on a white background. So let's go ahead and take out the background. I'm going to go into my render properties, check transparent. That'll give it that transparent background, so it's just the arm. And let's also check adaptive sampling while we're here. So when we're rendering, it'll take a lot less time on the transparent part of the image. Okay, so I think we're ready to hop over into the compositing tab for now. If we look here, there is no render layers node. So I'm going to start by adding that in with Shift A, input, and down to render layers. And with this, now we can hit F12 and it will actually render out our 3D arm. Still not appearing in the composite, but that's okay, we can work on that. I'm going to go Shift A, down to color, and then alpha over. And with this, we just plug the render layers into the bottom socket and our arm appears over top of it. Cool. Let's get some space here because we're going to do a bit of editing. I'm going to go Shift A and drop in a color RGB curves. And our arm is still pretty dark, so using this, I'm just going to take the bottom value here and actually turn it up a bit. And as we do this, you can see the whole scene is actually getting brighter. So if we go up to our alpha over node and check convert pre-multiply, then it's just the arm that's getting brighter, which is good. Let's set this to around a 0.015. Then that just takes the dark values of our arm and brings it up. And you can see if we look at the hoodie here, we've got similar dark values to the dark values in our arm, which is what we want when we're trying to match it up. We can also just take the middle of this curve and bump it up a bit if we want, just getting it a little bit brighter. Okay, so our arm's color is matching up pretty nicely now. The other issue you can see right now is that the top of the arm is not actually going into the sleeve. So to do that, we're probably going to want to add in another mask. So I'm going to go back to my layout tab and switch the 3D view to be the movie clip editor. And right now we're in tracking mode. I'm just going to track in a couple of new markers here. My default settings for a track right now are set to location, rotation, and scale. The match type is keyframe, and I've checked normalize. And if none of those settings mean anything to you, I did do a tutorial series recently explaining all of these settings, so definitely check that out if you want to learn to track a little bit better. But anyways, with those settings, I'm just going to track the actual corner of my sleeve here. And let's actually start on the start frame. Reset that, and hit E, and track it forward. I'm going to hit L real quick just to lock the view to the tracker. There's a few little bumps here, but it's not too bad. Okay, well let's get the other corner here. I'm going to drop a tracker on the edge here, and I'm just going to hit E, and let's start by tracking it backwards. I'm going to hit L once again to lock our view to it and just see how it does. It's doing fairly well. We've got a few little blips here and there of it just tracking the wrong thing by accident. So let's reposition it at the end here and keep tracking it backwards, and we'll deal with those little blips later. Okay. And let's track it forwards from this midpoint. Looks like it did a pretty good job most of the way here. There is one part where it just bumps up into the wrong position, which isn't good. So to fix a few of these little issues, I'm going to do something that I actually haven't showed in the past, and that is going into this side panel, under track, down into the tracking settings, and down into tracking settings extras, you can actually set a frames limit. And this is for if you have a situation where your track seems pretty good for most of it, but in some areas it needs to be changed, like this area for example. So I'm going to set a frame limit to, let's see, it kind of recorrects here, and there's around 7 or 8 frames here where it's just off the mark. So I'm going to go back to this point where it's correct, set a frame limit, let's just go to 10, and then track it backwards, and it'll only track for 10 frames, and it'll keep what we've tracked before. Let's see how it did. It actually messed up more. So let's just go in here and manually replace it a little bit, just for these few tracks. And we can track another 10 frames backwards. Okay, it's looking a lot smoother now. It's not a perfect track, but I think it'll do good enough for what we need. And what we need is to create a rough mask. So let's get to doing that. I'm going to hit L to unlock my view from the track, and then hit Tab to go into the masking view, and I'm just going to set a new mask. Let's call this Up Arm, and we can just get to working on a rough mask. So I'm going to hold Control and drag the mouse just around this area where the upper part of our arm will be, and we can take these handles down here and go a little bit beyond the sleeve, just getting it kind of nice and tight to it though. And then I'm going to hit Alt-C to close the loop, and let's just parent these handles down here to the tracks we just created by selecting the handle and selecting the track and going Control-P. Going to do that over here too. And now let's just do that with the upper two up here as well. We'll just parent them to the shoulder. Control-P. And let's just play through and see what we've got here. It's a little bit difficult to actually see what's going on. So I'm going to hit Tab, going into the tracking view, then B to box select, and then H to hide these. Then we can hit Tab again, back into the masking. You can see there are some points where it's slipping up a little bit and it's not perfectly tracked. But we've got a secret weapon that can help us with that. Although this corner up here could be expanded a little bit just so we don't get anything in there. Alright, this mask is complete. Let's go back into compositing and set it up. So I'm just going to take this mask that we've created before and duplicate it with Shift D. Let's re-render everything so the frames are matched up. And with this guy, I'm actually going to duplicate it again. And let's select the mask that we just created, Up Arm. You can see I've done this a few times at this point. Okay, so taking a look here, this is the mask that we just created, and this is the mask we created a while ago. And looking at these, there's a bit of an intersection point. This one is completely bumped up against the sleeve, and we took a lot of time to make sure it looked really good. So we're going to use this work that we did before and subtract it from this mask. So I'm going to go Shift A, Color, Mix, and let's just put these into the slots of the Mix node and switch this from Mix to a Subtract. And now you can see we've got the mask we just created with that nice little line for the sleeve. Okay, so we can take this and drop it into the factor of the alpha over. And looking at that, we can see it needs to be inverted because we only see the part that we don't want to see. So let's invert that. I'm going to go Shift A, Color, Invert, flip that around. And you can see we've accidentally opened a portal to the dark dimension here. So I'm going to hit Clamp, and that should fix our issue. Now when that's finished, we've got another issue, and that is that there's a little bit of a line here where we've got a seam. I guess our masks aren't matching up perfectly, so let's fix that with a Shift A, Filter, Dilate Erode node. And if we set this to -1 or 2, you can kind of see what it's doing. We probably want this to be set to a 1, and that way it's flush up against the sleeve. Now, one last thing that we can do to help this match up a little bit better is by adding in some shadows. You can see the sleeve is going over top of this, but there's no indication on the robot arm that there's actually a sleeve there. So let's go back into layout and switch this back into the 3D viewport. And let's just drop on something real quick. I'm going to select our upper arm here and go Shift A. Let's add in a cylinder. And if you have the copy attributes add-on enabled, we can just select the cylinder and then select this object and go Control C, and let's copy the location and then go Control C again and copy the rotation. And now with just the cylinder selected, I'm going to scale it down kind of as if it is a sleeve itself, and I'm going to go G and Z twice, and that will just move it on the local Z axis. And let's just look at our camera view here. Okay, so this guy is probably going to be around this area. And let's just go into edit mode real quick and remove the face on the bottom so that it's more like a sleeve. So selecting the face, hit X and faces. Let's grab this one and then hit G and Z twice. Now it's casting shadows on the upper arm, and we can just select this bottom ring with Alt and Shift in edge select mode and then scale that up. Cool. So now we can take this cylinder that we just created and parent it to that original object that we copied the location and rotation of, and we can go Control P, and it's moving perfectly with our footage. Nice. Okay, so if we render this out, it doesn't look very good. What we want to do is switch this to a shadow casting object, and we can just make it so it doesn't show up in the renders by going into the object properties, down into ray visibility, and then uncheck camera. And now if we render this again, you can see we've got some shadows that are cast on our arm. Now these shadows might be a bit too dramatic, so we can kind of back this off a bit by going G and double tapping Z. Just move it up on the sleeve a little bit, and if we look again, there we go. That's looking a little bit better. Cool. Now if we look at the finished render here, you can see it is looking pretty dang good. One difference that I've noticed between the original footage and the robot arm that we added in is if you look closely at the hoodie, you can see there's actually rain going over top of it because it was raining when I filmed this. And so next week, I'm going to go over compositing rain on top of our robotic arm, so it actually looks like it was also shot in the rain. And the work we did today is going to be a huge help. You definitely could leave off now and have a pretty nice result. But if you want to check out that video next week, consider subscribing. And hey, we've been talking about integrating CG objects into actual footage here. And if you find this topic interesting and you really want to learn more about it, I've created a completely free video for you that just goes over 5 different tips for integrating your CG creations into real-life footage. So if that sounds interesting to you, there's a link in the description. Definitely go ahead and check that out. But I think we're done here. I hope you have an excellent day, and cheers!